So if we had to classify the rating for the last 10 Sonic games we talked about, I'd say those were the 10 bad games, the games you should completely avoid. This time, let's talk about the okay games. The games you turned on, but probably didn't finish, or didn't play that long at least. I also hate openings like this. I'd rather just get to the video and avoid pandering out times, so let's just start. Number 46, Sonic Drift. The biggest issue with Sonic Drift is that the gameplay isn't that fun, and there's almost no content in the game. There's only 6 racetracks in the game for some reason. There's 3 cups, but don't let that fool you. It's just a difficulty setting. There's only 4 playable characters in the entire game. And again, the controls are just rough. It's hard to get around corners. It just doesn't feel good. The music is also kind of crap too, but it makes sense since all of these Sonic side games kind of have crap music. For the time, Sonic Drift is an okay 2D racer, but it comes nowhere near as close to any Mario Kart game, not even the worst one. Number 45, Sonic Shuffle. Have you ever thought to yourself, hey, I want to play Mario Party, but I don't want to have fun at all. If that's the case for you, you should be playing Mario Party 9. I mean, crap. Sonic Shuffle. Sonic Shuffle has so many issues. A complicated story, an okay soundtrack, but worst of all, stupid mechanics. I have never finished the first board of this game just because it's so complicated. So you use these number cards to move, and of course you move the amount of spaces the card has numbered. But unlike Mario Party, where all you have to do is walk past the star to get it, you can't get the crystals in this game without exactly hitting the space it occupies, which is a lot harder than you'd think. Honestly, I might make a video on all of these games at some point, so I don't want to go super in depth on everything, but what hits most is that it's just not fun. The minigames aren't fun. The boards aren't fun. The music, I kind of like the music, but it's not fun! Maybe with a couple friends this might be a little bit better, but until I beat that damn story mode, no fun. Number 44, Tails Sky Patrol. So once again they use Tails as their form of experimenting with genres. Tails Adventure is a Metroidvania, and Tails Sky Patrol is an on-rails shooter. And just like Tails Adventure, put this game next to any other on-rails shooters, yeah, you aren't touching this game. Not to say the game is bad, the game is okay. Again, the soundtrack isn't very good. The new characters just kinda don't look like Sonic characters, and there are way too many death opportunities. Just touching the ground is an instant death. Tails can fly forever, but oh shit, what is walking again? How do you do that? That being said, Tails actually controls quite nicely in the game. The way you maneuver in each stage and how you can throw your ring in multiple directions just makes the gameplay feel super smooth. If you want to be distracted for 30 minutes, pick this game up and give it a try. It's a fun distraction, but I promise, after one playthrough, you aren't coming back to this one, kid. Number 43, Sonic Blast. I can't believe I played the game. I found footage, I watched other people play the game, I watched reviews. I literally don't know what to say about this game. Seriously though, don't look away. I promise that I will get this ugly game off screen as soon as possible. Sonic Blast is a passable game. The art style, soundtrack, bosses, stage design, and well, everything about this game is pretty subpar at best. I wish I could literally think of anything else to say. The game looks like crap, the soundtrack sucks, the stage design sucks. This game's stupid, I can't believe it's this high on the list. I'm done, I'm going to the next one. Number 42, Sonic Drift 2. This game actually does a few things better than the first Sonic Drift game. First off, they add more characters including Fang the Sniper, whose design I love but definitely doesn't appear in enough games. All the cups now have different racetracks instead of just being difficulty settings. And it may just be me, but I found it much easier to control the carts through each racetrack. But even with the more characters, better controls, and more stages, the game is still pretty subpar. It's fun if you want to waste 30 minutes or something, but I can't imagine people coming back to this game often. Which I realize I could say about every one of these games at this next 10, so my bad. Number 41, Sonic Labyrinth. This is yet another game that just shocks me where it's placed on this list. Max and Chris like this game apparently, so I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna try to understand why they like this game. Some good points are, compared to the rest of the Sonic games on the Game Gear, this is without a doubt the best soundtrack of them all. The visuals are pretty nice, well, when they aren't actually killing me, but that doesn't happen too often. And the puzzle design is... I just realized that I had to freaking put the flashing screen on the Game Gear in my editing for people to understand the fact that I can't look at flashing lights. Should I rewrite the script? Fuck no. And the chill puzzle designs of the game makes this the perfect game to just chill and beat in one sitting. My literal only gripe with this game is the control. I know the story reason is that Sonic can't run super fast because Eggman swapped his shoes, which is like, what the hell? But there is a huge difference between running at the speed of sound and walking at a snail's pace. Sure, you can spin dash to gain speed, but then it's hard to control so you can't really turn with it. If they just maybe doubled the movement speed in this game, then I might actually like it way more. But it's just like, come on, Sega. You guys knew better at this point. Number 40, Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood. Oh my god, this game is rough. The presentation is rough, the gameplay, rough. The story, well, burp. The backgrounds to some of the overworlds are pretty nice. I wish there was more storytelling with the environment, like a world that felt like it had history. But it's a DS Sonic RPG, what were you expecting? This story is just kinda bad. I feel like the whole thing of making Echidnas the main villains is kinda half-baked. There's never a deep emotional moment with Knuckles and any of the villains. I really like the idea of the Echidnas coming back after SA2, but it feels like an afterthought in this game. And the gameplay is, well, so I like RPGs that make the player get involved with the combat. Like Mario RPG that makes you time button presses for extra hits or extra damage. Sonic Chronicles is way too involved to the point where the combat is not even any fun. Everything is done with the touchpad, which depending on if you like/hate touch controls is so-so, but you have to do so much just for basic combat that it just sucks. The combat needed to be more simple, and the story needed to be more complex and deep. On the plus side, that music though. Number 39, Sonic Spinball. Nah, not another simulated pinball game. Sharky, get back! Yet again, we have Sonic and Pinball together for once. I mean twice. Except this one is a little more interesting. Other than having a really hard final level, this game is pretty easy. It's just relaxing pinball. Other than some shittily controlled normal segments, the pinball mechanics work pretty well. If this game was a bit longer and a bit more fleshed out, I could see this being higher on the list. This is a very short game with a very decent soundtrack. In my opinion, this game is a fun distraction if you need to get out and, I don't know, maybe stay quarantined inside for a couple months if you want to just beat some Sonic games that you can easily emulate. And yes, this is going to date this video, but seriously, stay inside. You could play some video games, catch up on that backlog, just don't die. Number 38, Sonic 4 Episode 2. This game improves on the Sonic 4 mechanics, only a little bit. Look, there's no doubt in my mind that Sonic 4 Episode 2 is better than the first episode, but it still keeps a lot of the problems from the first game. The levels are still based on stages from other Sonic games, again with just a new coat of paint and added gimmicks. There are still speed boosters and springs freaking everywhere, and the soundtrack is still gratingly awful. That being said, there are some improvements. Even though you can't play as him, which is stupid, I like how Tails was implemented in the game. He can carry Sonic to higher obstacles or do this weird spin move thing and go forward really fast while breaking obstacles. The bosses are a bit better in this game as well. Most are still boring, but at least they aren't exact copies of previous bosses. The momentum physics in this game are much better than the original as well. I don't know how to explain it, but it feels like you can keep your speed a lot better in this game. Sonic 4 Episode 2 made some improvements to the original, but still lacks in some areas as well, and still does not have an identity of its own, which is really frustrating. Number 37, Sonic Rivals. Hey look, it's everyone's favorite PSP racer. The first Sonic Rivals has some things going for it. It's got decent music, a neat premise, and is honestly one of the better looking PSP games. And honestly, it's just a fun game to play with another person. That is, if you find someone else with a PSP and a copy of Sonic Rivals. Yeah, you're playing it by yourself, kid. No one's got either of those things. The story has some convolutedness to it. People are being trapped in cards by Dr. Eggman. Oh, whoops, I mean Eggman Nega, the guy from Blaze's Dimension from Sonic Rush. Oh, whoops again. I mean, he's from the future now. See why it's a little annoying? There's no continuity. Also, all of the characters do things for petty reasons. Everyone makes a competition of trying to beat Eggman. Like, maybe we should work together, guys. Seems like a good idea. Let's just hold hands, run up to Eggman, and jump on him. I don't know. The story is dumb. Add the fact that there are little to no differences between all the stories, and you have a game that has some fun mechanics, but is overall just the okay game in the Sonic franchise. We're done with the games that are considered okay. Now, let's move on to the games that are good. The games that people started, and they finished. Granted, the first one on the good list, it's too high on the list. But we'll see you next time, and remember, in these crazy times, just be safe. Sonic says, be safe, stay inside, play me. Sonic said it, so you must listen. Goodbye. I said goodbye. Dun, 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 dun.